Good morning, as they say. And what's so good about it, right? As long as we woke up this morning, it's good enough. But I'm gonna start off just like this early, the best way I can, and I'm gonna start from the end. And I pray that this is not glorified, whether it helps someone is in the basement, scared to come out, whether they're on the run, or someone is incarcerated, or someone is in any refined place. I don't mean to help or not help them. It just is something that I feel needs to be discussed until they can come out with a law that's capable of putting an end to it. But with our little short lifespan upon this earth, I don't think it's possible where currency is the bottom line and the stakes are too high. But the first thing I like to add is, for example, towards the end, like to the left of me, you have a big car dealership, many cars out there. No matter what wing or what government, what other country is not going to jeopardize their bottom line because they make millions and billions of dollars every year. But whether of a complaint of any nature or something that's crawling up our skin, or something that's aggravating us to death, that can't be contained and controlled, that won't be subdued and refined like Bin Laden was, that would rather run through the airwaves or hide through the computers or through any after hour bootleg underground type of intel. But that is something that could be used to help those that maybe have a problem with drinking, to calm their nerves. But that's not for me to say, but just give an example. What I like to add specifically is what's been going on here. What's been going on here? What's been going on here, not revealed, but known to the Lord, and for most, follow the Lord and those with wisdom and knowledge of the Lord. Those are only people that's capable of knowing what God revealed and what He conceals, and God knowing what they reveal and what they conceal. From day one, I have been analyzing my life, and I know firsthand that this is not life where you have a nice beautiful day where they got the clouds out and all you want to do is enjoy the day as the day unfolds and get the most part of it and your little span of life that's given to us, and not misused by something or someone that's causing a different perspective on another person's life. Not upholding any new kind of law, but something is underneath any religion, any insight of any cult, or any insight of any belief that's out here partitioning everybody to believe as if they believe. And a lot of people are sacrificing themselves in a quiet nature because that is part of us. Most of us are. You learn more in quietness. You learn having a sound mind than to be running off all throughout the day. So now there's back to the problem. What most people don't know, and I know a lot of people may have faced this and maybe haven't analyzed themselves in their lives that much, but I have come to the conclusion during the year after my mom had moved us away so far to start a new life. And I know it's the case because when I go out here and I see new places, I know that many people moved away to different places to start a new life because they're quiet and there's not a lot of tension in the air, and it seems a place to be. But you have people that's under scrutiny and profiled when they come around, and I'm going to understand, to make you understand how that is how that applies to me. In 1993, I moved away. I moved away to be around family because I had so much hurt and pain, and to be around the same places, you know, to not have the people there that help you, that relaxed you, that's there no more. That's what I did. My whole thing was to always be around immediate family, but that's what I had to be around other family besides my immediate, so I can get extra love that wasn't there, instead of one or two or three, four people. And I remember one particular time when I moved to, I think it was Asbury, Neptune, New Jersey, and I was selling Jungle Gym books, I remember. And I met this female. She lived near Lake, I think Lake Avenue, near the water. So we would only knew her for a couple weeks, and I got something small, something really below a misdemeanor, but I didn't go to court. And we went to, and I went to the county. But while I was in the county, I remember being in the county with a nice guy. He was really respectful, polite, and we were kind of sharing the cell. He was a singer, he sung and wrote music, played music, and he wrote a lot of letters to his girlfriend. And I used to like when he sung. He had a good voice. Hey, man, you got a really good voice. You could be somebody, like a lot of these singers, like Jaheim and a lot of other these singers that came from jail that sung. So one day, he was writing letters, and, talking. I'd seen the front of the letter, and I saw them. We was right in the same place. So he said, well, that's true. We are right in the same place. So we researched it, and we found out that the girl that I just met before I was incarcerated, his girl was living with her, but she was going through some things, financial difficulties. And this is a temporary place to stay. So we immediately joked and laughed about it and started writing together at the same time. Like when we come out, we're going to get together and enjoy ourselves and celebrate, all four of us. So I came home before him. And I remember this one particular verse. He's a great singer, Like, they just sing, I can hear your voice calling out me. The popular verse by R. Kelly. So now I get home and I'm visiting her, and from waiting for him, guarding him and his girl, so nobody touches, messes with her at all. I always try to be that type of man, but until you can get home, So finally, I also kind of respect and understood the stance that she had living there, because she was a female, not with a man. So she used to always call me like, come on, let's go on home. I kind of like, oh, you shouldn't do it like that, What she's going through, she doesn't have a man, and she's lacking in certain areas. But to make a long story short, I stopped being with her. It was a couple of weeks. So by the time my friend came home, I was already gone. I went back to the other individual that I was hanging out with prior that was much stronger. And I remember one time I had asked that individual to meet me next to a convenience store, Wawa. And she was there. It was right next to where she lived. The guy was right in the same address to the girl, two girls we didn't know that lived together and stayed together. So she had came by and threw all my clothes out the window that I met her with, actually, to find a job. They looked presentable. I worked at Joyce Leslie's after, selling the child jungle gym books, and all out the window, like throw all my clothes right there in front of the liquor store. And I was really upset about that. You know, I couldn't believe it. Me and the individual that I was with prior, we were like, "Why is she doing that? What's going on with that?" And she went right on down to the police station after that, and she couldn't understand that when I was with prior to her. So she said, "Well, that's just because she just whipped. We call whipped where a person is hooked over another, wrapped around another person's finger, and that's what it was because I stopped seeing her for like a few days, a week or so, and she's." I don't know how she knew that I was with her at that particular time at the store next to her house, throwing my clothes out the window. But she was there, so she said, "I'm about to go press charges on you." I didn't know why she was pressing charges. So we followed her, me and the girl that I was with prior, and she went right there at the window signing, pressing charges. And the girl was there that I was prior, saying, "I don't know why you pressing charges." And she was with her cousin. "I don't know why you pressing charges on him. What, you whipped? He had you wrapped around his finger, huh?" She was from a place that's quote unquote dubbed, for their men take care of their women in that way, sexually. And I may have that posture and standard about me. So she knew I had it, and she kind of figured that this was the situation. And that's why you signing a restraining order and saying whatever she was saying. So she followed suit, and I didn't show up to court for that, of course. That's another reason you get kind of twisted and tangled in your daily lives, going about your business, trying to make it happen for yourself. So while we were in jail, writing letters to the same person before I left, we had friends living there to the same address. A guy came in jail. I'm not gonna be racist and judgmental, but that's the type of guy that will wear all yellow a yellow jersey. It has Buccaneers or something. A team that don't even exist, and maybe some yellow shorts and yellow sneakers and yellow socks, and I've seen those type before, right? That it really has the program mentality to program us to feel as that we are comfortable around them and make us do things that we know is not right and feel comfortable while we're doing it. Someone that looks just like me, act like me, responds like me, will be around you but not under scrutiny, such as myself. Well, this type of person came in there, and one day me and my friend in there, writing letters, and he write music, and he's, with that, please don't go off. Thank you, Lord. With that type of personality, the guys you let in the cell, they let in the cell with you to get information that goes out with a dollar bill. It does happen sometimes. After you talk to them, they don't have any money in their bills, 10,000 or whatever. But anyway, now he was in there with us, and he said we used to play this game, and I'm straight, he's straight, meaning that we only deal with one sexuality, race. We heterosexuals, but it had that power to overlap all that and make us. We used to play this game, so the game was masturbation. So he said, we all get in a cell and we just masturbate to one thought, or masturbate to something. So this is 1993, right after 92. Anyway, everybody knows that I had one like a shoplifting and a couple other mind control. Martin Luther King, every Martin Luther King day, somebody's knocking. Well, anyway, so I'm on the top bunk and he's on the bottom. The guy's sitting in the middle chair. So they started it, and I'm at the top bunk like, what is this? Like, kind of like, is this some type of bubble that he brought in the room? Like, I got up and left and walked a few feet from the cell, just looked over like, I can't believe my friend is doing that. So he came out eventually a minute later and followed me. He was like, Derek, you're right. That was wrong. And I didn't, I actually just walked out with you. I don't know who this guy is. So anyway, excuse me, we researched it and found out about this guy. This guy, he was locked up in front of the same liquor store I was talking about earlier, where there was the girl throwing out my clothes out the window. He was locked up right there for messing with a minor. So he know that I was 19 or 18, and my friend there, I forgot his name, but it didn't come to me. He was around the same age, and this guy was a year older, maybe 21. He was locked up for messing with a minor, and I think he tried to talk and mess with the minor at the same place that he was locked up. So now he's in there with us, right? And we did research on us first, but what happened was he spoke on it. He told us what he was in there, but we did more research and found out where it happened at, and he let out the cat out the hat, and told us about that, and we were like, oh, really? So a year later, or 2 years later, I'm in Yardsville. He didn't get, I didn't remember, but he is my cellmate a couple years later. I don't know what he's in there for this time, but I remembered as of like a few months ago, and even way before that, just thinking, putting things together. I really knows it was him. So he in there, same thing, like, we had this thing going where we used to see how many girls we can have sex with. We used to do that when we were young, but we still do it, How many girls you had sex with? I couldn't count more than my fingers, So finally he was like, I'm in the 100. I said, yo, I lied a little bit, maybe 25, 27. This is a lie. Then he was like, man, I'm in the hundreds, 140s and stuff like that. And wow. So same guy in Yardsville. And I remember because I couldn't stand it, But he used to sing this one song all the time. Now he used to sing this one song